because we in charge and we know better and we know what's best for St. Louis.
Start with 02. Keep saying something. Start with 02. I mean, they sit back and I'm telling you, bro, whichever way you turn, they plotting. But go ahead. This is me saying that.
Yeah, well, and I've worked with O'Toole, and I think that the key is though we got to find a way where all of our goals align, because here at the end of the day, is the city of St. Louis is safer for all people of color. We reduce violence, reduce crime in a way that is humane and respectful, and that's good for everybody. I mean, everybody is going to be more safe, and so I think that's what Cincinnati was able to convince the police union, which I'm sure was not predominantly African American or people of color, but they were able to convince them that if we are able to address these issues in the community, it lifts us all up. Yeah. Now, I know we have been able to do that here in St. Louis, but I think that is the roadmap forward.
Yeah, you're right. Let me ask you another question, if I can. I think y'all did a real good move with Jeffrey Carson. I've been in them jails for the longest, and the mere fact that y'all took him on and brought him on board, I think it was a major piece for you. I really do. I think that if y'all really follow his lead, because he knows those jails. I've been in those jails for the longest, and I've seen when that workhouse was at its bottom, and I've seen when it was at its top. Now, I know y'all closing it down, which I was totally against, but it's okay. I can take one on the chin. But that Justice Center is something now that you got to deal with. It's a whole lot of moving parts there. But I think if you kind of follow his lead, but I think a lot of times, and I'm talking not you, but a lot of them, they dealing with politics right now, and politics ain't about what this is, because from my understanding, St. Genevieve and some of them other places that we thought was going to take some of them prisoners, they're not even taking them. I'm hearing they 7 8 hours away now where they sending them young brothers to. And I don't think they outthought that, so that means families that was normally somewhere close, they got to drive to Timbuktu. And I was saying those things before time because I thought there was some other things they could do, but of course it's done now, and this, that, and other. So hopefully, I think you made a real good decision. I know you did with Jeffrey Carson, and I want to see that thing work. Jump on in there, Chief.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I think Jeffrey Carson is really the person we need at this time to get the job done. There's been a lot of different opinions about this issue, but what we do know is that there's been a groundswell of many people in the community who wanted the workhouse closed for years.
Yes.
The Board of Aldermen voted for a plan to close the workhouse, and many of those people who voted for that plan wanted the workhouse closed. The mayor campaigned on closing the workhouse and came in and gave myself and Jeff Carson, who is now the leader, commissioner, the direction to close it. So we implemented a plan to do that. I got confidence in him. He's a person who believes in treating people humanely.
Yes, he does.
Believes in safety, both of detainees and correctional officers. And so, we've created a plan to move detainees into the Justice Center, do the repairs. We're going to do significant repairs, completely, totally renovating the whole system. And we're working to keep the population down. People who don't need to be in jail, who are not violent. We're working every day with the Circuit Attorney's Office, Kim Gardner, with public defenders, and also the judges. So we're not incarcerating the wrong people. So I think we're doing everything. Plus, we have a contingency plan if things are overcrowded. So people say we were rushing. Well, we're not rushing. If we need a contingency plan, we will do that. So I think we're trying to cover all bases and move the direction of what the community wants and also what the mayor wants.
How are we dealing with this issue of these homicides Doc, I mean, that is something that concerns me greatly, as I'm sure it does you and a lot of other people. But that situation a couple weeks ago where these young people were downtown just partying and kicking it and having a good time, and then for whatever reason decided to jump on top of a police car and get it in. And I just
turn it up, huh?
Yeah, I think that I don't know all that happened, but I don't think that the response was a measured response to what it should have been, and I don't think we can tolerate that. I really don't. And I love young people, and I'm out here with them. I talk to them every day. I interact with them all the time. But I have a certain standard and certain things that I expect. They expect from me, and I expect from them. And so, how are we going to be able to deal with this?
Well, I didn't talk much about myself when I was chief, but since I left, I've started to share more about my experience. And I know the mayor talked about jails being personal, in terms of conditions for her, but violence is personal to me too. So, my uncle was killed in a violent crime. He was shot and killed, a dispute with someone. My grandfather on Redbud and Natural Bridge was shot in an armed robbery. So, when I talk about violent crime, it's not just something that is something that I haven't experienced personally.
Know about firsthand.
It's something that I experienced personally as a person of color who's grown up in North St. Louis. So, I am committed to a standard that says violence is not tolerated in our community. There is no place for it. And so, since I've been here, we've been very focused on, and it seems simple, but communicating daily with all the different departments on the police department, gathering intelligence, which really requires engaging the community, because as you all know, the community knows what's going on.
Oh, absolutely, all the time.
They have the stories. They just need to trust you to tell them.
Yeah.
And so we are trying to, be there in the places where we get information about what is going on, so we can either arrest someone who is responsible, or we can use all the community resources to prevent retaliation. And so really that's the basic strategy, is getting information, not waiting a day or a minute until we respond, and whether it's an arrest or working with the community to resolve a dispute so we don't have retaliation.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do, and I think it's working. It will work better over time as we get better relationships and better communication, but that's what we've been really doing on a daily basis.
I want to jump in on just this segment because I know we're going to go to the next segment in a minute, Mayor. But I think that's going to happen because the mere fact you got Sister Heather Taylor. Sergeant Taylor brings so much credibility. I'm just being honest with you, because even though she's a police officer, even the brothers in the streets, they respect her. And for so many years that if the community come together and you got police officers work together, you can solve crime. But when they think, and this is me talking, you got a lot of lake shaws around there. Or tools around it that they know are dirty police. They know they're dirty cops. They don't think they're dirty cops. They know they do. Then they don't feel they need to come try to tell y'all anything, because they feel though whoever they deal with dope dealers themselves, because that's what they were. So that was a major move you did. We're going to go to a break now, so if you just kind of be patient with us for just a little bit longer, we can come back to that where we're at here.
Yeah. We want you to stick around, Chief. We need you to go on into the next segment with us, okay?
Okay, no, thank you.
Okay.
Just hold 1 minute.
Yeah. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM.
Yeah.
Keep it on lock.
Yeah.
Quit.
Playing.
All right.
Now, see, I come with the thunder. They don't come in like that, Secretary.
Nelly say, feel me when I bring it.
Yeah. You too near me not to hear me.
Wait a minute. That sounds like somebody else used to say. All right, go ahead.
So we'll let you know when we come up on the next segment, but we're still live, brothers and sisters, on our YouTube page and on the Freeman Bosley Jr. page. We're still live, and you can go to Anthony Shahid's page, and I'm also live. But we're getting a lot of information out, and what I was saying, and I want to talk about when I come back on. Sister Heather Teller brings so much credibility to the police department, along with you, Brother Dan Ison. I'm going to tell you, you did something that, you know, out there in Ferguson, after they put Ron Johnson out there, they tried to put you up.
Yeah.
Because they always want to use some black faces, and but they want somebody to coon at the same time. And you was letting them know you didn't like buck dancing and shuffling. And this is me saying that, I'm just describing it the way it really happened. And you said, no, you know something, I think I'm going to decline. I don't think I'm going to be able to work with you, Governor, just that and other, because you weren't going to let them just use no black face and use you to be able to say, we got a black face here, so now everything is okay. You know, and I respect you for that. I really do. You know, I like to see brothers get different positions. I think you should be in those different positions. But my problem comes when they get in those different positions. They come in there and they boot licking and butt licking and buck dancing and buck jumping and butt sniffing, and it's not necessary. You know, so I appreciate you doing that, brother. I do. I appreciate Brother Ron Johnson when he's out there. He carries himself as a warrior, as a brother, and not just let them, because I was there and seen how Belma was flexing, playing like Belma was running things, and he made it plain. You know, I'm working with you, but hey, I'm the man in charge. And, you know, and when we're in charge, we got to act like we're in charge. So I appreciate that. And I think I got just one more minute. I got to say, you know, I got a big mouth, Mary, so I got to get this part in, too. Before we come back on the air, I seen them try to play a move on this brother here. I'm Francis slaying them. This is me saying this. This is me talking, because I got to tell the truth. I ain't gonna hold none of that stuff. When he was the chief of police, they was talking about what they was gonna do with Dotson. You know, I'm just telling you what they was doing. They was playing all kind of little games over there, you know. But my brother weathered the storm, and then look at him here. Look, he back up in, as Nelly said, up in Hero. He's back up in Hero. So, brother, you'll let us know when we're ready to come back on. Just 1 minute, Brother Dan. We'll be back on about 1 or 2 more minutes. We'll be back on.
Yeah. I want to hit this right quick, though. But the city of St. Louis is also looking to fill 100 vacant job openings.
Yes.
The city is looking to fill 100 vacant job openings.
That's big.
This is extremely important.
That's big.
These are jobs that people can get. These are jobs I would imagine. Now we have a residency rule in certain respects, but this is a job that people. These are jobs that people can get. They're decent paying jobs too. You see, so the other thing is, we always have folks coming up to us talking about they can't find a job.
Hook me up.
And hook me up, and they want to try to get something in. But you know, here you have to use your best efforts to try to get employment. You cannot dabble at it. If you're unemployed, you just can't dabble at it. Say, I'll go look today, then come back and go look next month.
Can't do it like that. Consistency.
It's a job to get a job.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It is a job to get a job. And those that don't have the job need to make it their business to get that job, to do the job, to get a job.
Beautiful.
That's what they got to do. That's what they got to do. And so, and I'm not saying that it can't be done, but the city right now has 100 vacant positions.
That's big.
100 vacant positions that they're looking to fill. That's what it is. And so, get on it. And I would tell you this.
Yes, sir. Just 1 second.
Too. Mama, get them boys up. You got sons and daughters or whatever, somebody living in the basement, somebody up on the 3rd floor, just hanging out. You know, and now it's hot. You know, they down there opening up the. You see them open up the refrigerator and just stand there. Just open it up in the refrigerator. Just stand there with the door open, looking in the refrigerator, looking for something to eat. You know?
He didn't buy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
he didn't buy, and he didn't bring the stuff that's in there. He didn't bring it. Soaking up the air. You know, people now with as hot as it is, the electric bill is $200 a month, $350 a month. You see what I'm saying? So, and you know, let us just contribute. Help mama.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all.
Help mama. Help daddy. Get employed and try to make a contribution to the household. That's all you got to do. And you know what? That is, they don't really expect too much more than that. They expect you to be responsible, but they do expect you to help.
Let's go back.
Expect you to help.
And you don't whoop them enough. Let's go back on the air and let's bring the chief back on. Can we get back? Are we ready to come back on?
You ready?
Get you to bring your mic just
man.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Here we go. And
Welcome back to the Prince Johnson.
we're coming up, Mary, in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. Welcome back to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Oh, hallelujah, 1600.
We're having fun
we're
right
having a good time here. We're joined by Dan Isom. He's a public safety director, and he's a man that has many hats.
Yes.
We just talked about jokingly. He's a doctor.
Yes.
He's a former chief.
Yes.
And now he's the public safety director.
So he got three. So you can say he's chief doctor.
Chief doctor director or doctor chief. He's the chief doctor director. See, that's it. Chief, the chief doctor director. That's what that is.
Bottom line, he's the head man in charge.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Before we went off the air, I was talking about and complimenting you, brother, on your move or the mayor's move on Sister Sergeant Heather Teller. I'm so respectful of her and love what she stood for, and it just shows you how God and His wisdom. We plan. Allah says in the Quran, and man planned, but God, Allah, is the best of planners, because the mere fact nobody would have never seen this 2 or 3 years coming. Every which way, because she was fighting for our people like it was going out of style. Now she's fighting for everybody. We understand the position she's in, but it brings credibility, to the department. And the mere fact now that we know the Sister Heather Taylor there, and then you bring back integrity back to the department, because people know that you're about. One thing I know about you from being around you, you write a book, bro. If that book ain't right, you'll throw it at them. And you're not supposed to be throwing stuff at people, but you're a pretty good thrower. But go ahead. Should we call him a pitcher too, man? Can we throw pitcher in there?
I'm trying to tell you. Chief, let's shift some gears here now, and let's talk about how a correction officer, a female, is allowed to open up a cell and let two correction officers go in there and beat up on an inmate, and then once she feels that he is been satisfactorily abused, calls them to exit and then close the door. So how does something like that happen?
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about that, but I just want to reinforce what Brother Shaheed said about Sergeant Heather Taylor. She is a tremendous asset to the team, and really someone who has advised me about how we can deal with this issue of violence in the community. And certainly she's an advocate for professional, competent policing in our community. So it's a pleasure to work with her. Of course, I work with her in my career on the police department, but it's certainly a pleasure to work with her directly.
Yeah.
And
she's a great lady. She's a fantastic.
She's a great lady. So, to the incident that happened at the Justice Center, it's really nothing you can say other than it's an appalling situation in which a breach of your professional duty and ethics to not only maintain order but to protect those who are being held and who have not been convicted or sentenced of a crime. These are people who are innocent until proven guilty. And so
they're in her care.
Yeah,
they're in her care. And so, a terrible situation. Unfortunately, there are people who commit these acts and unfortunately we entrust them not to.
Yes.
But all we can do is when it occurs, hold them accountable. And that's what happened in this situation. Fortunately, we were able to gather the information and evidence to at least hold her accountable. But I know that doesn't repair the damage that was done to the individual or to the family of the individual.
Yes. Or to this community.
Or to the community has to endure that. Yeah. But we have people in our community who are like that, and unfortunately, they are in all types of facets of our life.
Well, I will commend the city for at least releasing the video,
Yes.
so that people could see it. You know,
Transparency.
you could have held on and
Yeah.
let people file lawsuits and appealed and this and that, but you all came on with it and released the video. So we appreciate that, and we'll continue to talk about it. But I wanted to get that out there because members of the public and our listening audience would definitely want to know, well, why didn't you ask him about that? You know, and Chief, now what is it that we as a community can help you with? Because it's no man is an island. There is no I in team, and it takes all of us working together to deal with this issue of crime. You put a police officer on every corner, you ain't gonna solve a crime. You got to have the cooperation of people in the community to deal with this issue. So how are we coming about some of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we all know the issue that we're facing in the community, and unfortunately, in our community, communities of color, we have young men and young women, large degree young women who are involved in this cycle of violence. Many of them are dealing with the trauma of things that have happened in their life, and responding in a way that they feel will relieve that pain, but it really doesn't. It inflicts more pain on the community. So it's simplistic, but these are sons and daughters, and we got to wrap our arms around them and pay attention to what they're doing and try to provide positive avenues or positive outlets for them. That really is the key. I mean, if you were fortunate enough to live a life that was free from this type of sort of chaos, then you had somebody who guided you, whether it was a coach or a mother or father, a cousin or brother, who tried to move you along the right path. So what I would say is that if you got a young man or a young woman who you're gonna need to talk to them. You need to spend time with them.
Yes.
You need to take them to the movies, or take them to the ball game, or to the park.
Go fishing.
Go fishing. It really don't matter what it is. I mean, it's just showing them that you care about them and that you love them, and that you want something positive in their life. And while that's simple, I think it's effective, and that's really. I mean, that's really what every one of us needs to do to people we love and people we're concerned about.
It's the simple things, though, Chief.
Yeah. And,
it's the simple things.
Some of the simple things are the best things, and that's why I want us to make sure that we do exactly what you're talking about, Chief, because if we don't bring everybody together, start working together, it's never time that we're on our radio program or I'm anywhere speaking that I don't say I'm not against police. It's not a time that none of us on this radio station that whoever on here, one of the main things I'm gonna say is I'm not against police. I'm against bad police, and I'm not gonna be quiet about it. I'm not gonna whisper about it, because I'm just really looking at the front of the American newspaper for last week, I believe it was, and the first thing I see on there is beating Officer Luther Hall's case again has beating Officer Luther Hall's case again has all-white jury. Now, see, that brings a bad taste in our mouth. Why? Because here's a brother that was undercover, but they done found a good slick line lawyer, and it's me talking. I'm not talking about nobody else. I take all he feels like Rosenblum. I'm talking about one of the slickest little devils that is around there. He's slicker than fish grease, but he knows the loopholes and the right words to say to be able to say that man really was wrong and something he did wrong by getting jumped on, because that's how they do it. Now he goes, well, all white jury, and we already just about know the verdict is going to be none guilty. The police officers didn't do nothing wrong just because they bust his lip and his collarbone out. It wasn't their fault. It was where he walked. So it's going to be something they come up with. And until we can eliminate all this old slick stuff like this, Chief, it's hard for the black Americans, because I've been around, and I'm just being honest with you, and I used to tell you this. I ain't never heard these young people they hate the police. When I say they hate the police, they hate them. Some of it is legitimate and some of it ain't. But as long as they can keep on seeing things happen and nobody addresses it because of whatever reason or another, and you don't have a person like Sergeant Taylor Dennis McGlenn, I remember how Dennis was getting every which way he turned, it was a problem. Eddie Simmons, anybody who stood for black people, whichever way they turned, it was a problem. Those were brothers that they care about, and the ones that just let them white folks do this stuff and act like it ain't about nothing and start talking about what they can't do this, that. It's what, because we have to come together. My brother said if you had a police on every corner, it wouldn't work. You already know that, Chief. But if we got them on these corners and then we out there with them and then they won't just be right, I don't think all the little brothers are straight. I tell them they're in the jail all the time. And I don't think all the police is bad all the time. But you can't never have the police association coming out and them saying the fraternal order police. I've never heard them come out and just say a police officer and did something wrong. They stand behind them. I don't give a damn what happened.
They die and go to hell.
That ain't no good, Chief. You know I'm telling the truth.
I mean, no, I think what, I think what the mayor is trying to do, and build a system of accountability that can bring that trust and change that paradigm that you talked about. It's no secret that, there are parts of the community that have an extreme distrust for the police department. And the communities that have the most distrust need the police the most. So what you're saying is correct, is that we're not, nobody, I'm not against the police.
No.
I think that many people in our community want and need the police to help them. And so I think what we're trying to do is put in some accountability structures that are more, have more power, more influence, that can hopefully lead us in the right trajectory, because, at the end of the day, I think we do have both white and black advocates who are out there. Yes. We just need to empower them to be the leaders of our organization, and not the minority who seem to sometimes control the narrative. And hopefully what we're doing is empowering both black and whites of good cause who want a different direction, and that's what we're trying to do.
Now here, I do want to bring us back, though, to this issue of Luther Hall's case being decided by an all-white jury.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem, but the problem is black people. And I'm
But
going to tell you, let me tell you this. The problem here
Right.
is black people. See, black people don't want to serve on the jury.
You're right.
Black people run from the jury. I've been in the courtroom. I've picked a jury, and the black people want to come up and talk to the judge privately. I can't serve. I don't believe in this. My husband is in jail. My son is in jail.
Anything to get off the jury.
I got to be home to feed my husband at 6 o'clock.
Knowing they lying.
No, ain't got no damn husband. But these are the stories. These are the stories that we will tell to get off the jury. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And this is a disgrace.
Yeah, it is.
This ain't a white thing. This is a black thing. Because see, the white lawyers or whoever the prosecutors are, they get a certain amount of strikes anyway. So they're going to strike black people because they don't want the sympathy going toward the defendant.
Yes, sir.
And then you got the other half of the black people literally taking themselves off the jury.
You're right.
So by the time, like say if you got 30 jurors and you got, you might have 15 black ones. But by the time the prosecutor strikes 5 or 6 of them, and then the other 5 or 6 start putting their hand up, talking about, I got to go. I don't want to be down here. My God won't let me. My God won't let me.
Get spiritual. They won't get spiritual.
Oh, they come with all kinds of stuff. And Chief, you know what I'm talking about. And see, this is a thing that we got to contend with as well. Black people need to serve on the jury.
Well, I mean, you know this, Mayor, because you're an attorney. but it says that you're supposed to be judged by a jury of your peers.
Absolutely.
Now that does not necessarily mean that the jury has to be a particular color. But
That's
to
right.
your point, but to your point, if there is the availability of a diverse pool, then it's more likely that you will get a diverse jury of your peers.
Yeah, it's going to be different.
I am one of those persons who could give some justifications for not serving on the jury, but of course, when I was a police officer, I generally didn't. But since then, I have. And many people were shocked that I would not try to get out of serving as a jury member. But to your point, I believe that it's my civic duty.
There you go.
To be able to do that. And so, even though in my career I had never served on a jury in 30 years, once I retired, I was able to do so, and I felt proud that I could be, someone who could provide, not only sort of the African American viewpoint, but also as a police officer and as a person who, has lived in North St. Louis and lived different places. So, no, I agree with you. We all have a responsibility, and if we all accept that responsibility, both the victim and the defendant will get the best possible mix of people on the jury.
Well,
I want to just ask them one other question. Is that program still going? They used to have an explorers program for some of the young people that could be exposed, because we're talking about the police, but some of them going to have to learn how to be police. I don't think everybody going to be a police. But is that program still in operation, Chief, or can you check? Or do they still have anything that when young brothers and sisters? Because I can remember when I was going to Soul Day and how they would come up to those schools and they would actually be trying to bring brothers and sisters into some of those programs. And 4 or 5 of them when I was young like that wind up. I never went toward the police department, but I remember they did it. Do you still have something like that, or ride-along programs or something?
Yeah, absolutely. We have 2. We have the Explorer programs and the Cadet program. Both are designed to move, young people, especially young people of color, give them a window into what it would be like to be a police officer, and they're pretty successful programs. So I would encourage anybody who has a family member or listening right now to reach out to the police department to get more information.
How do they do that? Is there a number, a person they call, or what?
Yeah, if they can call City Personnel Division, and they can provide that on the City of St. Louis website, or they can go to the St. Louis Police Department website and look at recruiting, and they will find information on the Cadet program and also on the Explorers program.
And if I can remember correctly, y'all used to pay to kind of help them go to college. It was a lot of little things that y'all used to offer them, like incentives. It wasn't just you just come in and put a brown outfit on, because it seemed like they didn't wear boot merit. They wore like khaki brown or something, But I can remember that, and it made them feel so proud, and it seemed like it was something that they would do if they was in school. Y'all would help them so much, not all of it, but am I right?
Yeah, you're right, and that's the way the program exists today.
Okay.
They will provide educational assistance in college, a part-time job as a cadet, and then they expose them. And even if they don't want to be a police officer, there are other positions within the city that they may qualify for. We need dispatchers, we need correctional officers.
Beautiful.
All of that can prepare them for those different jobs.
Okay. All right, Chief, we got 2 minutes. Why don't you go on and take some time and get out what you want to get out, and let us.
We'll be quiet for
wrap up. We'll have to wrap up. Go ahead.
No, I appreciate you all taking the time to allow me to come on today. We are really working hard to address this issue of violent crime in the city of St. Louis. As I said, being very focused on the people who are committing the crimes, but also to the mayor's focus is providing resources for those people to prevent and intervene in violence as well. Because, jobs, transportation, good housing, education, those are the preventative measures that we really need to focus on in addition to policing. So it's not a and or, it's both.
Right.
And
it's
that
all.
it's all.
Yeah.
And for many years, it seems like we have only focused on the policing part.
Right.
Now the mayor has really said, let's invest in our communities, let's invest in our people. And that really, I think, will change the culture of violence.
Yes.
We can slow down the violence through policing, but we won't change the culture through policing. And so I am encouraged, and one of the reasons I came back is because we have an administration that says that we got to make people's lives better if we want to reduce crime. And I wholeheartedly believe in that. It's not just a campaign slogan. It's a reason why people in Ladue, Webster, Kirkwood don't have a whole lot of violence. It's because they got jobs, they got nice houses, they got nice communities, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to change that trajectory, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm gonna do my part from a public safety standpoint, but making people's lives better in communities of color, especially in North St. Louis and parts of South St. Louis, is what we need to do to change this paradigm and direction that we go on.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Chief. We
Thank
really
you, Chief.
appreciate you.
Thank
And we want you to feel free to use the show to come back and let us know about something that you want to get the word out on. And we're always there for you. We want you to know that.
So thank you.
I thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks a lot. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on 1600 AM. Hallelujah, 1600.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Keep it on loud.
Keep it on loud.
Stop playing.
Playing.
See, put some strip. Playing.
Yeah.
Live. Now, another thing too, until we come back on air, and Sister Secretary and Brother Kevin Kev, I was thinking about the 100 jobs that help quite a whole lot of this stuff down.
Yeah.
If you was working, you'd be tired as hell. You go home. I see some else around here sleepy. You know what? 'Cause we have to work. So you know why people be dozing and stuff? Because most people are tired. But when you ain't working and you don't get to 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, talking about what's up, and what you say, Mary, they leave the door open and look in the refrigerator, huh? That's a problem, Brother Kevin Kev. That's a real problem there. So, I would suggest anybody, you want to see a change, some people watch things happen. Some people talk about things that happen. Some people just hear about things happen. This Explore program and this cadet program that you can get paid and get some money and go to school and make a little bit of money at the same time, you be somebody making something happen. Because when you talk about the police ain't doing something, you right there to make sure the police do what they're supposed to be doing, and not they don't have an excuse. And the more of it's on there, Mary Bosley hits something that's important. I mean, when I was growing up, that's all they talked about, trying to get out of being on the jury duty. I don't give a damn. I don't know what it was about. It was like a thing in our community. Everybody was talking about not going on jury duty. And Mary Bosley, right, as long as it's an all-white jury, it's our fault, and it ain't their fault because they going to look out for their own. They tired of us. They tired of being sympathetic toward us. They don't want to hear nothing about us. And as a matter of fact, how most of them get to be judges and get a chance to be governors and all these other positions, Brother Kevin Gale, is they got to show their heart on crime. So I know we're going to come back right on now.
He said,
So,
give me 1 second.
okay. So it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, Brother Kevin, I just wanted to kind of cover some of those things, but what I want people to understand, and I'm real straight about mines, and I have to be straight about mine. The police got to work with us, we got to work with them. And when I say work with them, I ain't talking about doing nothing but what's ethical. But what black people are seeing for so long, and I have to talk about this, they always want to, I've seen the dirt that Lakeshaw did for years. He never did it with me. But because I was in the community, everywhere I went, somebody was talking about how he was taking drugs and dope and guns or planting guns on them. I couldn't play like I hear. Then when I would get around the police, they were sitting. I said, "What y'all?" They were, "Hey man, we can't do what you do." So that let me know. And I'm talking about if I dealt with over 30 years, if I say in 20 years, I bet you I had at least 100 police, over 100 police, not at the same time at different places, would give me a nod like, "Come on, man," but he white, he can do that. I would say, damn, So that's what made me start saying, well, give me a list of some of them. They got another bad actor who's really one that he gave birth to named Seaghost, Sergeant Seaghost. They call him the Ghost. Man, this dude is bad news. And guess what? Most of them police around there right now, just like they knew about Lakeshaw, they know I know what I'm talking about. But it's like they scared. O'Toole, his son was one of the ones that was shooting when they came off the highway and went in the house and took bullets off the wall. All of them know this. I'm talking about, well, he was over internal affairs as the colonel or lieutenant colonel. If certain departments come up under you, he could have made sure he checked IAD and found out what it was. He already knew it. The reason they didn't charge him, because they knew for a fact they would have a problem if they said anything to O'Toole's son, who they knew was doing all kind of dirt. So there's a lot of our people know what they're doing. But what they say, hey man, what can we do? Here's a brother, and I can't think of his name, that was over there off of Riverview when the police came up and shot him. He wound up retiring. Now the only thing different between me and him, and I'm on record for this, if I've been a police officer, that white boy pulled up and shot me, and I'm an off-duty police officer. The other police officers didn't already identify him as okay. The mere fact he did what he did, bro, ain't nowhere in the world me, myself, and I would have shot him back as a police officer. They would have had to come up with two reasons why two police shooting each other. You know, he see a situation happen, he runs out to try to help deal with it because I'm a police officer. I'll be damned that he didn't get shot. And then they come up, and O'Toole came up and tried to give a fast answer on what was going on there. So I see one of our people are calling us, so I'm going to step away for just 1 second. Just 1 second. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Let me come with this. Okay, just 1 second. Let me get somebody to get you. Just 1 second. That's one of our guests. Just 1 second, brother. Since I'm stepping away for just 1 minute. Hey, James at the front door. James at the front door. Back there. Back there. Back there.
And stand by. We have more of the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show is coming up. We are in a intermission at the moment, but we want to thank you for watching and listening online, listening to the Bosley Show on our Facebook page, and also joining us on YouTube. And the mayor is coming back, and we will resume broadcasting very
James
shortly.
Clark coming up. James Clark for the Grill to Glory. We've had safety director, public safety director, Dan Isom. I mean, he's the former chief of police. He's the doctor of education, and we've had him as the now he's the public safety director. So we call him we call him. He's the chief of police. Was the chief of police. He's the director of the public safety. And he was the we call him, and he's got a doctorate. So we call him Chief Doctor Director, or we either call him Doctor Chief Director, or the Director Chief Doctor. You know, in that order. You know what I'm saying? I like to play with people's titles like that, because when they really got several like that, you can it really kind of helps you get an understanding of what they've accomplished.
Absolutely.
You know, and so it's such a beautiful thing that he's been able to acquire these things, and he's trying to put his best foot forward down there with Mayor Tashara Jones to try to help us turn this crime around, which is, everybody knows, is no easy job. Is no easy job. But you know what I do want to say, I'm gonna get back on that butt about this jury duty. I'll wait till we get on the air before we I get into that because jury duty is something that is extremely important. Here he comes. How's my brother?
What's up? How you feel?
You on there? Come on in here, man. Come on in here, Jay. Look at it.
Kevin, my brother.
How you doing?
Magic 108, baby.
Yes, sir.
Brothers and sisters, you sit down.
Y'all see me jump up? You see why I had to jump up? I jumped up because when James Clark
How
called.
you feel, man?
Okay, so that's right.
Yeah. Oh, man, y'all got me between the ears.
So he calls the brother and sister. Now you see, it's a legitimate reason I got up and left. You know, I was just saying.
All right.
I mean, the proof of the pudding.
That's right, brother. We
I
gotta
just
turn
don't
it
need
in.
it.
Turn it in.
Yeah.
Turn it in. All right, man. Man, this is so beautiful.
Yeah, I brought that.
Is that new?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Oh, you tell me when we ready.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yeah. You can go ahead
Okay,
and
we
hit
ready?
Shut that door.
Let's close
That
that
door
door.
need to be shut.
Thank you, Sister Felicia.
Yeah, let's get that.
We live, you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all got
All right,
Kevin
man.
here.
Oh, man,
Doing 18 minutes with you, man.
We're gonna do more
Hey,
18
let's
minutes.
roll.
Stand by, Sister Felicia, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're rolling. And
I'm gonna
man,
keep my
we,
phone.
coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Tag a friend and bring him in. Tag a friend and bring him in. I'm telling you, it's the only way to do it. Tag a friend and bring him in. Welcome back. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600. Hallelujah 1600. That's where it is. We're joined now by or with Mr. James Clark. Well, my main man, you know, the guy that's, he comes forward, he goes into the breach.
When you start, he's out.
Into the breach once more, my brother.
You put us in these positions, man. So no, all this talk you talking right now, blame it on yourself.
No, I'm gonna take it. It's not blame, it's honor.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Ain't no blame, honor,
sir.
baby. That's what I'm talking about. You know,
You
to
must speak right
be able
to
to
this
look
mic
at you
for it.
guys and
Directly
see
into that
what
mic.
you're doing and what
Directly.
you've been able to accomplish, and so the sky's the limit, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is. You know, my dad used to say, "Boy, you can't fall off the ground. You can't fall off the ground. All you got to do is stand and be a man."
Yes, sir.
Stand up and be a man, and that's what you all have done for me. You've shown me what it is
you gave
that
it.
you can do, and what you intend to do, and what you're going to keep on doing. So, Brother James, I'm just glad that you could make it today. I know that Mike Millen is driving you hard. He's a hard taskmaster.
Oh, yeah.
He's a hard taskmaster.
The biggest thing Mikey is, Freeman, is Mike
Speak right.
McMillan is an example. I mean, when you look up CEO, when you look up leader, they should just have a picture of Mike. He is relentless. He sets such a pace at the Urban League.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate to, have him.
Yeah.
Because he battens down the hatches and he moves forward. And so it's an honor to work at the Urban League.
Yeah.
You know, I was 27 years at Better Family
BFL.
Life and enjoyed my time there.
Beautiful.
Took what I learned in the mayor's office, working under you. Just as Shaheed was saying, myself and Mike, we owe you a debt of gratitude.
Yeah.
I'm going to share a real story that, I get choked up sometimes when I tell it and when I think about it.
Well, my Bosley ain't no secret.
No. And
no secret.
there was a rapper that used to say, it ain't no future in fronting. So some people front like they made it
Right.
by themselves, but I can remember shortly after you won, a lot of the sage and a lot of the older leaders had convened in the mayor's office, and Mike and I were sitting off to the side, wasn't participating in the conversation. It was way above our pay grade, and it was maybe about 15 or 20 of them in there, and one of them said, "Freeman, why you got them two guys working?"
Never forget that.
Why you got them two?
And I said, "Mike, who is this dude, man? He finna get us fired." And he said, "Well, you need some people in here who know the community.
Right.
You need some people in here who know the neighborhood, who have some experience out here in the community."
Yeah.
And I said, "Mike, we gone, man.
No.
We finna get fired." And Freeman, you didn't hesitate. You didn't stutter. You didn't even pause. You said, "We got to build capacity in them." And I had never heard the term build capacity before. And I went home and I called my mother, who's an educator, and I said, Mom, what does it mean to build capacity? She said, it means to take something from where it is and equip it to move forward. And Freeman, from that moment on, I was sold out to you.
Ain't no secret.
Because anybody else would have said, well, send me some resumes.
Yeah.
Help me find some people who you think should, and then Mike would have went to work in the treasurer's office, and I probably would have went down to Parks and Recreation,
Back over to the circuit clerk's office,
and then that would have been it. But no, Freeman, you overlooked some mistakes, and you would just really put Mike and myself, Shaheed, Kevin Bryant, Etafia, Umana, all of us on a trajectory that had you not been there, James Clark wouldn't be who he is right now.
That's right.
Period. Mike McMillan wouldn't be in the position that he's in right now. Period. So that's something that Mike and I often talk about.
Yeah.
Is how do we look for the next generation to build capacity in, and then you all had an expectation. See, we couldn't just talk.
Yeah.
Nope.
See, when we went out into Walnut Park.
Yeah.
When the violence was off the charts, and I never forget it. Freeman walked in the staff meeting and said, "Where's all this shooting taking place?" And Walnut Park. And he said, "Well, we need to go down there."
Yeah.
We called Greg Carter, we called brother Shaheed, and we went down there, and it was like, what do they need? We need jobs. So the Urban League set up at Northwest High School for 3 months.
That's right. Surely did.
For 3 months.
Marsha Leonetti.
Yes, Marsha Leonetti.
She's a soldier, wasn't she?
Right there for 3 months, and the shootings went down because we were there every day. It wasn't about talking and analyzing. And
I don't get it.
And let's look at the data, and let's look for the causes. You got to look for the causes. But you got to put the fire out that's blazing right now. So from that moment on, Freeman, that's just always been my brand.
That's right.
Boots on the ground, engage it right where it's taking place. So no, man, hats off to you.
Yeah, but the thing that's important to note about that, though, it is we already knew what to do in terms of the basic things, because we were already with the community.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? We were already with the community.
Yes,
That's the way we campaigned.
Yes, sir.
Man.
We campaigned with the people. We campaigned in the street. We campaigned in the neighborhoods. We campaigned in the bars and the clubs, the beauty shops, the places where the uppity black people go say, "Oh, they ain't got no business down there. What they doing down there?" But see, you saw what it produced.
Sure did.
Yeah.
You saw what it produced, and people still talking about it today because we built on top of solid rock.
Yes. Yes.
The foundation is built on solid rock. And my dad used to always tell me, boy, what you don't have in money, you make up in people.
Sure did.
Yes.
And he said, and if you ever got to choose between money or the people, always go with the people.
Yeah.
Because the people can bring you money.
That's right.
But money can't bring you the people.
Mr. Farrakhan said that.
Really?
Mr. Farrakhan.
That's true.
That's what the elder said.
That's natural.
He said, never get disconnected from black people.
Never.
You get disconnected from them, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. Yeah.
And the problem now, we're faced with some folks that ain't never been connected.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
See what I'm saying?
See, Freeman, one thing that I learned is that people think that cultural competency is black skin. That whoever has black skin can talk about the experience. That's not true.
That's right.
See, it's too often that we don't have the voice that can represent that person that's trapped in addiction right now on the corner of Natural Bridge and Goodfellow. Nobody can speak to that pain. Nobody can speak to the trials and the tribulations of that 16-year-old mother whose mother just put her out with her 2 kids.
Yeah.
What's her plight? But see, so we have got to push now more than ever, because the academics and academics don't like me, because I say that we have spent too much time studying the problem.
Yeah.
We've got to match that with the ability to go into what I call the NPL, the neighborhood, the front porch, and the living room. That's the lens that we've got to use right now.
Right.
We spend too much time hydroplaning at 3,000 feet, skipping over the problem.
Yeah.
It's time to take a deeper dive. That's what it's all about right now.
Well, let us go and tell us about the Grills to Glory. Now, this is what it is the second year, though, right?
Second year.
It's in the second year.
Well, Freeman, when we look at the model, neighborhood porch living room, we focus on not the entire St. Louis metropolitan area. We focus on manageable swaths of land, about a 4 to 6 block area, right? And we deploy urban engagement specialists that go out into the neighborhood, and we do an assessment of every family that lives in that neighborhood in our handprint. 4118, 4119, 4121, 4123, 4125. We document the social service needs of everybody, every family in that handprint. We then do case management. We case manage the neighborhood. I can take you into a part of JVL. I could take you into a part of Hyde Park. I could take you into a part of Kingsway West. And we know every family in the 4 to 6 block area. We can tell you what all of them need, from the mother down to the 5-year-old. Now, as we began to implement the model, it wasn't doing anything. It really wasn't getting to the heart of the matter. Crime would drop because we would identify the high-risk people.
Yes.
But then we said, we got to pull in the church. It's a church on every other corner. So we worked to meet the pastors, and we started working with the pastors to do cookouts in the neighborhood every Saturday.
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
And you know what? And it's interesting. Last year,
Speaking to the mic, man.
last year, when the program kicked off,
I remember.
I would be on my way to do our show.
Yeah.
And as I was driving down these streets and through these neighborhoods, I would see these barbecue pits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would see members from the church huddled around, talking to people and having sodas and water and things for people. So it caught me off guard because I hadn't quite remembered the Grill to Glory program that you had launched.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, what are all these people out here? What are they doing? And then I realized by the time I got to the radio station that this is James' thing.
Yeah, ain't that beautiful?
Yeah.
This is James' thing. That's what this is all about.
Yes, sir.
And the thing about it is, it's still going on today.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying?
That's
Right?
blessed.
It's still going on, so it has life.
Yes.
Yeah. Freeman, we right now,
You're speaking.
we have
I want everybody to hear you, so
75.
we speak directly to our mic.
We have 75 churches.
There you go.
St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and East St. Louis that have committed to firing that grill up every Saturday.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
See, the problem we have, the police cannot solve.
Yep.
Elected officials have a role, but it's not going to come through the legislative process. We have a neighborhood crisis and we have a family crisis. And the church is the institution in a position to change the culture in our neighborhoods. We got gangbangers that because they see the church out there every day, gangbangers have emotions too.
Yeah, that's totally
They will pull over and ask a pastor to pray for them. With an AR-15 on their hip.
Right.
I need help. And then when they talk about, man, my grandmother always prayed for me.
Yeah.
When they see the church out there and active, then they pull over and they, start a conversation. So we see this being revolutionary.
Yeah.
And is putting the church back in the driver's seat.
That's right.
See, so it's the best way to transform the African American community. The church led us through the civil rights movement. Sister Rosa Parks sat down, and she was arrested. Pastor said, "Boycott the bus." It wasn't a politician. It wasn't a school principal. It was the church that said, we finna boycott. We finna shut this. We finna shut down the bus. The church led. That was an external crisis. Now we got an internal crisis. And the church just has to step up and be visible in these neighborhoods. And it's so transformative. So to the listeners, if your church is not involved, get your church involved. Freeman, what you saw could be the beginning of a metamorphosis. People driving through. Man, these churches are out here every Saturday.
That's right.
See, the church has been criticized.
It's the consistency. The consistency, because one Saturday is fine.
Yeah.
You know, then a second Saturday, well, okay. But the third Saturday, hey, what these people doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're right, because when I'm going by, there are cars that have pulled over and people coming up to talk.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that is just so basic. So simple. And the thing that I like about the church is already there.
They're there.
Yeah.
There are Reverend Fortenberry already over there on Greer and Garrison where he's been for 40, 50 years. You know what I'm saying?
And then Freeman, God blessed us that we got the grills.
Yeah.
Brand new grills.
Wow.
Out the box.
Wow.
Cisco Foods heard about it and said, they said, Mr. Clark, we will donate 100 cases of hot dogs every week. I mean, every month. So we've given cases. So we've given the churches a good starter kit.
Yes.
That's the start. Now, what can y'all put on to accent
Absolutely.
that? But y'all got the starter
You
kit.
bring some ribs.
Bring some ribs. Y'all can turn on some music.
What kind of ribs? Oh, well, come on now. We don't make no difference. Whatever it take to get the people there.
Yeah.
We can't be choices. But brother, he's gonna come too now. Well, then you got to bring whatever you eat.
He's gonna have to bring some grill because he's not gonna eat that
on-
meat with the pork still on.
Well, that's all right. More for me.
Now listen, so I want to add too. I see that you called out for the residents too to come out and join the Urban League Federation block unit.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well,
because you got the churches and you want the people to come.
They go hand in hand. One of the first programs that the Urban League adopted was the Federation of Block Units.
Bill Slayton,
Norman Say. And so when James Clark was coming up in the Jeff Vanderloo neighborhood, the Federation of Block Units and the church were visible and active. They were able to see what was going on in a family and get some support to the family.
Yes.
That's gone.
Yeah.
So at the Urban League, we understand that one of the most important things that we can do is put an infrastructure in place where families in neighborhoods can step outside their front door. And if they have a problem with addiction, the Federation of Block Units is there.
Yes.
And the church is there. So we are launching a major campaign right now.
Yeah.
We got the churches. So we're challenging St. Louis. Go to the closest church to your house and say, Pastor, can we start having Federation of Block Units meeting here? And Pastor, are you a part of the Grill to Glory effort? See, we just cannot sit back and watch our neighborhoods bottom out.
Right. That's right.
So the Federation of Block Units under Brother Farrakhan Shigog is up and active. We want to begin to put infrastructure in place that can service families.
So that Full Circle summer 2021
that's
is
hot.
with Clean Sweep and the Grills of Glory together as one unit.
Clean Sweep.
That's an altogether different conversation.
We need to go to the break.
We're going to talk about that when we come back.
Yeah, you're going to come
You're
back.
gonna stick around, right? Okay, yeah. But the thing about this, though, is the Grills to Glory is we want you to feel that you don't have to force a conversation. You know, just walk up. You know, just be there. You don't even have to say nothing.
Yeah.
Just eat a hot dog and just stand around. You know what I'm saying? Because then it starts. All right. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on Hallelujah 1600.
Let me have
Keep it on lock. Quit praying.
Just put some strength in that.
Yeah.
I don't want that no more.
Listen to that.
Put that word spirit in there. But we're still live. But we're still live.
So
This is their-
some of the things that I see that's happening,
This
and
program?
especially, you know, I was talking earlier about what I
Full
seen.
circle is hot, Freeman.
What I
It's the
seen,
real
'cause we
story
laugh,
with
'cause
the
I want everybody to
cancer.
hear what I seen
This is all
with
the
Mike
same
McMillan,
program.
you know.
Then they
even though this
have
is Saturday
this
morning,
one,
we live
and I
here
want you guys,
Saturday
if you get a
morning.
chance,
But
to
last
go over
week
some
when I
of
was
these
there,
numbers.
I seen
So
how
we
the
got
back of the parking lot,
Hyde
how
Park.
the windows are now.
These are the people that
And how
we got.
Mike have just came in, and I heard you kind of
Sure.
start off, but you
And
didn't
then
finish, but I know we got a lot of
Even
stuff to
Bridgestone,
cover.
got some mental health.
But I
Every
wanted to
day
make sure I
next
cover
time,
that.
maybe
Well,
five
we let him
minutes.
some of the things that Mike
you know,
have
this is the
did.
time
It's
we
just
let him do it.
unprecedented.
And,
Mike is classy.
This is a hot,
Mike is
hot
first
program. Look,
class.
look at this.
And when you see what he did to
They
that
got these
building, you know, I
5
talk
pillars.
about when you drive down the street, now you don't have to wonder if it's the Sears building, you
That's
gotta
good.
call it,
That's
if it's
good.
the
That's good. They do it.
Roberts
It's
building.
called
You know
drilling
why?
down. You
Because
drill
see the
down.
building that says
That's no surface
urban
stuff.
And when you see Mike,
And so-
Mike is a classy brother, you know, and I just want the people to say that, you know, and y'all teaming up together, you know, Allah blessed y'all, and I think it was what they call
called Serving Our
unprecedented.
Streets.
Yeah.
You know, to have two brilliant minds to come together, and then y'all did another power move, and all this from Mayor Boss. He playing
Oh,
like
man.
he running this. He
Come
talks.
on, man.
Look at me. You don't even look over there.
Come on, man.
Pat Washington. You know,
Yeah.
He just pulled out. Look at me when we talk. Don't look the other
Come on,
way.
Shaheed.
Don't look the other way. You know, I'm talking about what he did. And he trying to play all innocent over there. You know, like he.
Come on, man.
When he know
Yeah.
he the Don.
The Don.
I mean, I said what I want to
Yeah,
say.
speak on it. Speak on
You
it.
know, and I'm just thankful for everything he's done, and I'm thankful for what I see out there. And it's enough work out there for everybody.
Yeah,
brothers and
yeah.
sisters, you know, don't nobody have to. I always tell people when you say anything, just outwork a person.
That's it.
what I
That's
say
it.
with me. I tell anybody. You
And
guys
that's it.
outwork
That's
me.
it.
And
Here's the
I'm
other
gonna get
piece.
my head. I take my head off of anybody, and I'm not saying in no braggadocious way. Can outwork me? Then you're good. Then
Yeah.
I need to learn from you. But what we should be doing is worry about you doing this. It's so much work out here
Yeah.
that I don't care if all of us work 24 hours. The condition that we are as a people, it ain't enough of us.
That's right.
You know, that's how I see it.
And here's the other thing. What I like about our group, we have disagreements, but we don't let stuff run so deep
No.
that we can't
Yeah,
get on
yeah.
the next conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Not next week or next or tomorrow, but right then.
Right.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We may have okay, we off that. Let's move on to the next
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And don't go backbiting. Don't nobody be backbiting and all this other kind of stuff. When that's done, it's done. Let's move on.
Yeah.
You see, that's
Yeah.
that's what real men do.
Absolutely.
And women, I'm sorry. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
that's what people do.
Please say that.
Yeah.
For
sure.
She took her glasses off over there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm seeing here you gonna have 35 buildings demolished, 25 vacant lots cleared, and 20 miles of alleys cleared.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
20 miles.
that is the clean sweep program, and you know we got to thank the Regional Business Council and construction companies
Yes.
because we started off just with the forestry division coming in neighborhoods, and they would cut down some trees and do some things, and then I was at a meeting with the RBC. And they said, James, tell us about clean sweep. And I said, well, we go in and we tear down, we cut down some trees, and we clear some vacant lots. And a gentleman named Doug Weibel
Well, I remember him.
handed me a note. I'm Doug Weibel, Fred Weber Construction Company. I have equipment, I have men, I have chainsaws. When is your next event? Call me. And Freeman, you know how we do.
Right. We
I
do.
called him as soon as I got
That's
in the
right.
truck.
That's right. Yeah.
And he said, when is the next clean sweep? Saturday. So this was on a Thursday.
Okay.
So Saturday, Doug pulled up with enough equipment to block the sun.
It seemed like it was 20 trucks.
He showed up in mass.
He showed up in
He
mass.
showed up in mass. That's a
He-
beautiful thing.
And so he said, James, can we tear down some buildings? I said, absolutely. So
They been want to do that anyway.
yeah. So Freeman, they came out and they tore
Something
down
down.
buildings directly across the street from a school. And so Clean Sweep has grown.
Yes.
This year, well, last year we painted the Grand Water Tower.
Yep.
Which
He's proud of that. That's
oh
his
man,
proud.
that's the
Yeah.
it's a lot of stuff that I'm proud of.
So
You
can we
are
do this? We're ready
demolished
to
an
come back.
eyesore.
We're ready to come back on live, even though we live, but we wanted to come back on the radio.
Radio. Let's go.
I want
So
to
we
hear
got a
this.
9-minute segment, brother.
And that's
I'm
it.
ready. Sister, I'm here.
Question, James, quick question. What
if a church wanted to participate in the Grills to Glory? How does the church get in?
They can call 615-3637. 615. Oh, they got to. They got to.
Can you put that on the screen?
Say that you all came to our church.
615.
Life Center.
615.
For sure. 615-3637.
Can you put that on the screen?
You know what?
But no, since I'll smash full circle. I'll smash it.
You got it, man?
Yeah.
This your final 9.
All right, final 9. Bring it on in.
9 in the paint.
Okay, 9 in the paint. Here we go.
Give us one second. Any special events that we need to get out for Juneteenth celebration on this Saturday coming up, June 19th?
The
Anybody know anything that
the
we need to
masjid
do?
is doing something. Brother Jihad
Okay,
is
you
doing
got the
something. So I got it.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we need that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, stand by there. We are coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2.
How? Tag a friend and bring him in.
Bring him in.
That's the. Hey, you know what? She's coined the phrase.
Yeah, please.
That's her phrase. She's coined the phrase, tag a friend and bring him in. That's what we got to do. We got you. We need you to like it, share it, tag it, follow it, like it, share it, tag it, follow it. That's what it is. Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on Hallelujah 1600. But before we go any further, I just want to say Happy Father's Day coming up.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's right.
We
Yeah.
taking my daddy fishing. That's what we gonna do. It's gonna be about 40 of us. We gonna take over.
Man,
We gonna show up and take over someplace, but we gonna take my daddy fishing. We gonna get out in it,
Beautiful.
and it's gonna be a whole lot of members of the family and everything. But this is something simple. You can spend time with your family in the park, doing something with your father, or just doing something with each other.
Yeah.
You know, get your feet off that damn concrete. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you got to get your feet off the concrete because the concrete is unforgiving. It's unforgiving. Just stomp down. That concrete is going nowhere. But put your foot on some good earth.
I wanted to jump
Some
in
good earth.
and I want to say Happy Father's Day too. And every day is Father's Day. But before we left off, I wanted to give a shout out to a brother, Pastor Gainey, a brother that I've learned to respect, and I learned him and got him from Brother James. Allah bless me and Brother Jihad to get probably about 16 to 20 tractor-trailer trucks in the last 3 months. And we weren't able to get rid of all of them, not at first. But the first time it happened, the brother just called and said he had a tractor-trailer truck. And I was like, tractor-trailer truck? What am I going to do? I can deal with about 25, 30 boxes. I ain't no damn urban league. My name ain't James Clark. I'm serious. I was joking with the guy. And he said, so you'll just turn. I said, well, do me a favor. Give me a minute to think. So I got on the phone, bottom line, I'm going to just go fast, and told Brother James, when we doing some other things, shall you get with Pastor Gainey? And me and this brother, in the last, I'll say 3 months, me and him, at least 20 tractor-trailer truck loads of food. But what I like about him, he talk about those hot dogs religiously. He got all other kind of stuff that he give away and we give away together. But the main thing that brother does is every Saturday, people look forward to it. That's why I know what you're talking about. They 100% look forward to it. They come up there, and before they leave, they get all their food. They tell them, come on back and get you a soda. Come on back and get you some chips, and come on get you a hot dog and put you some mustard on it. One thing they ain't got cheese on it. See, so I'm gonna leave that alone because I like cheese on my stuff. But it's okay, that's big to me. So I'm through talking about that. But that's big, and that's every Saturday, 5925. Wherever else you go, it's okay. But I'm pushing 5925 West Florida because I'm there every Saturday.
That's your area.
That's my area.
No.
And he's a good brother.
No, this is the era of the neighborhood church.
Yes.
The neighborhood churches, we got to fortify the neighborhood church to be visible and active right at their doorstep. I was talking to a pastor, and he said, James, you will know that when Jesus was out there, the fish was a cheap food because everybody was a fisherman.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
you can get fish a dime a dozen. Now you got to pay for fish. You know, fish is costly. Salmon,
absolutely,
everything
yeah.
is costly. He said the hot dog is the modern day fish.
Okay.
It's cheap, inexpensive, and so we just got to just really clamp down on this thing and push the churches in the St. Louis metropolitan area. The whole mantra is every church, every Saturday. We think that would change the energy and the spirit and the culture in St. Louis in a relatively short period of time.
Well,
so
it's
having
important.
pastors like Pastor Gainey
It's important.
on it, every church,
Yes.
every Saturday.
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
I really do. Me being a Muslim, I have no
Yeah.
problem doing it for the simple fact, and I'm glad he's saying that, because the church is no different from the police. Have had a real negative vibe out here. For the most part, they don't respect them. But this is the way, as he said, to catch. You can't catch a fish unless his mouth is open. And the mere fact that they're out there and they're showing, hey, if this is what catch you, and I've seen 4 or 5 of them say they coming back the next day and come to his
And come to church.
I've seen them do that. So I say all praise due to Allah. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you, brother. And whichever way I can help you or anybody else, I'm
some
about
churches have repopulated the pews.
that. Oh,
Off of
absolutely.
Real to Glory, just off of that.
And they know it's working.
Can
But
Mother,
they
can you come
consistent.
to
The main
church
thing-
tomorrow?
Pastor Gainey was out there when it was 16 below zero. This is
Yeah,
no
he out
exaggeration.
there.
He was out there.
Yeah.
So
So it's time
for
for
just
the
that
church.
alone, if anytime it's helping anybody, you feeding somebody, to me, that's bigger than anything else that's going. You're
Yeah.
feeding and clothing people. Everything else is important, and I like and respect it. I don't think none is more than feeding and clothing.
It's called back to basics.
Yeah.
Back to the basics.
Back to the
James, you
basics.
take
So-
the last few minutes we got.
No,
you're gonna take charge of everything anyway.
Just Freeman, just happy to once again be, standing on your shoulders.
Yes.
Would not be in the position I'm in for over 35 years had I not had that breakthrough working for you in the mayor's office. That's it was the most important education that I got.
Yes.
I've gone further with that 4 years, and I think I would have gone with a 4-year college degree.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Further.
obviously.
Further. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And that's what you did. You did the dance and you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Still doing, still carrying on.
But Freeman, just to put this out there, deja vu is something that you think happened. It felt like this happened before, but it didn't. Full circle is when you start somewhere and you go off and you do your voyage, then you find yourself right back in the same spot. That's full circle.
Yes, yes.
Freeman, it's time for everybody between the ages of 35 and up to come full circle. We owe these neighborhoods. These neighborhoods loved us.
Nurtured us.
We stepped outside the front door and there was another level of love that you got
Yep.
from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yes.
We owe these neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Our grandparents left us functional,
Yep.
unified, nurturing neighborhoods.
Yes.
It's our fault that they're in the condition that they're in right now.
Absolutely.
So now the challenge is for us to come full circle. Come back to the neighborhood that loved you and that nurtured you, because right now that neighborhood needs some
It
love
needs you.
and some nurturing,
it
and
needs you.
only we know
That's right.
how to bring it.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, I tell young people all the time, we are the last generation that saw a functioning, loving,
Yes.
compassionate
Yeah.
African American community.
Yes.
After us, all they saw was
That's it.
A hood.
a hood.
Right.
So they don't have the reference point. And
No.
if we don't pour into these neighborhoods right
Yes.
now,
We got to.
we got the churches. Now we need the Vashon alumni, the Soldan alumni,
Central.
the O'Fallon alumni,
Beaumont.
We need everybody.
to come back into these neighborhoods.
Farragut.
Everybody.
You got young boys out there, 13, 14 years old, carrying AR-15s because we don't talk to them.
And they scared to go up on and
Yes.
talk to them. They're not going up there and talk
They
to
ain't.
them. They're not going to do that. So I know we're going to end now, but I wanted to make sure we put, again, 5925 West Florissant, Pastor Gainey's church from 11:15 to 2 o'clock every Saturday. And this week, too, Brother Imam Jihad on 1434 North Grand. Jihad is doing a piece with Juneteenth, which is today, I should say. I'm talking in terms like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but anyway, today he's doing a big piece from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock at Grand and Cass. And I don't want nobody to tell me what, I thought you were talking about Pastor Gainer. It's enough people that if it's 50 people having something, it's enough for y'all to go, especially if it's positive.
Yeah.
So it's good for us to support everybody, and that's
Absolutely.
what time it is. And until we understand that, it ain't about nothing. James, we thank you for coming on, for all the work you, if you would give Brother Mike McMillan our respect and
Yeah.
our love, and tell him we appreciate him. Anytime he wants to come on or you want to come on to get any kind of information out, you do what you want to do anyway. So we'll just
And I just want to make sure we give this number. If you need, no, not if you need, you do need to make that phone call to get registered for Full Circle Summer 2021. That phone number is 314-760-7233. 7595. Again, it's
Speaking to that mic, he said.
760
Okay.
7595 to get registered for Full Circle Summer
One more time.
2021.
One more time.
One more time.
One more time.
It's 314
Freeman Bosley.
760 7595. So that's Grills to Glory in the Clean Sweep, the program Full Circle Summer 2021.
Time is gone.
All right.
So-
Hey, look, you did it again for us, St. Louis.
Yeah.
You helping Blow the Bosley show up, and
Like
we really
it.
appreciate that.
Like it.
We want you to like it, share it,
Facebook.
tag it, follow it,
Go to
like it,
Facebook.
share it, tag it, follow it, like it, share it, tag it, follow it. Hey, it's the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on Hallelujah 1600. Quit playing. How?
All right.
The
We ain't off
STL.
yet.
that's the
Yeah, we
show.
ain't off yet. We're off the radio now. But
Yes.
so brothers and sisters, thank you very much for everything. Thank you for listening. You're taking us to another level. You look in the back, you see how Mayor Bosley. I mean, he's got some more things he's going to do. But we on the move now. That's all I can say. We on the move. So I
For
thank
sure.
a lot for
We got it.
everything and his wisdom. And his name has taken us to where we need to be at, along with us coming on with him. So, Mary Bob, them like James, we thank you for that. You let us know when we're off. Are we off yet?
We will be off in just a minute. I'll
Okay.
go ahead and stop the stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you say anything to him before we get up off here?
No, we have got to come together loud now like never before.
Never before.
Like never before.
That's right. Kenny.
Let Mary Bob
Yeah.
get in and out.
No, I'm not in and
Gotta
out.
say this, we on YouTube, you all, right now.
We're on YouTube.
Facebook right now.
Are we?
So, Mary, go ahead and tell the people to make sure that they like it, tag
Hey,
it, share it,
look,
follow it.
look. You got to like it, share it, tag it, follow it. Like it, share it, tag it, follow it. We need your help, St. Louis. Help us get this word out. This information that's what we are purveyors of information. And of good information. We're not emoting. We don't have misinformation going out.
Yeah.
We're not speaking negatively about people unless they deserve. No, I'm just playing it. We're just letting it flow.
Yeah.
We're letting it flow. And you need this information because educate. What is it? Who said that? Knowledge is king. Who's that?
Yeah.
Kumo D.
No,
Knowledge is
KRS-One.
knowledge is king,
Yeah.
and that's what we're trying to bring, and that's knowledge. So we want you to we want to thank you first for all the support that you've given us so far, but we have so much further to go.
And we want to thank Chief Ison for coming on with us today.
Thank Chief Ison for coming
Chief,
on.
Brother Professor Teller for coming on
Yeah.
today with the blackmail.
Dr. Franklin Teller.
Yeah, with the Blackmail, the Achievers program. We want to thank a brother by the name of James Clark. James is still here.
Absolutely, yeah.
We want to thank Brother James Clark and Brother Mike McMillan, who's,
Yeah.
when you see James, you see Brother Mike McMillan. So, you can't see one without seeing the
That's
other.
it.
So we're honored, and thank you, Brother Kevin Care, for all you do behind the scenes.
Kevin
Thank
Care.
you,
Yes, we're
Sister
good.
Secretary. Can I finish, Sister Secretary?
Yes,
I know it's a woman's takeover, but I am Brother
You want
Shahid. I
to
would just
take
want,
over, one person.
and I just, I can't stand you,
Yes,
but I
sir.
love you, and you're my best secretary. We want to thank you for everything that you
Yes.
do for us
Yes.
and help us.
Yeah.
And nobody around here gets paid.
Keep us together.
We volunteer to get this
Right.
information out.
That's right.
And to closing it out, we thank you, Mary Bobs, for giving us the opportunity to be, to be
gotta
get
keep
information
going.
out. Yes, sir.
And I
We
just
gotta
want to
keep
give
going.
a special shout out to Judge. Because he be behind the
Judge
scenes.
Bryce,
with the
yes,
tech.
yes, you're right.
I mean, he steps in and he helps with every little piece.
Oh, you just Danny Brown.
Yes, Judge.
Danny Brown.
Brown.
That's right.
Well, that's because of Bosnian associate. If you want to start getting technical, you want to go and talk about,
Yeah.
because if you don't do right, you're about to lose your mind up in here. Then you need to call Bosnian associate.
That's right, baby. That's right. All right,
They
then.
don't know how to do
Thank
that.
you.
I know how to-
We miss Senator Carla May. She
Oh,
has
yes,
special
that's right. Oh, we
assignment.
Senator.
So due to
Love you,
she will be
Senator.
back.
She's
So
on
we
assignment.
Thank you for joining us on YouTube. We thank you for joining us on Facebook platform, and we want you to make sure that if you're on YouTube, go to Facebook, look up the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show, like that page, tag it, share it, follow it. All right, and if you're on Facebook watching us right now, get on over to YouTube and subscribe to our page.
That's right.
We appreciate you.
That's right.
All right now.
Okay, now.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Tell us when we're off.
Facebook, and now we're about to be off on the YouTube. Make sure that that's
And Secretary, you closing my phone out too, Secretary?
Yes, sir.
You already did, or you going to?
I'm closing it out. I'm closing this
clear on
one,
both
too.
of them.
Okay.
Make sure
We still on that. What?